Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Little Art Studio podcast. My name is Ashlyn McKibben. I'm going to be your host, and today I'm sitting down with Gabo Rio.
Hello.
I'm going to let him tell you guys a little bit about himself.
Hi, guys. Really excited to be in this podcast. My first time doing a talking one. I'm a producer and DJ for electronic music. I like making old school music, but at the same time, it's kind of new because I'm using just the sounds of the synthesizers and very little sampling from older songs. And a lot of it goes um, with a genre called acid, and the synthesizer that is used for that is the TB03.
And I know nothing about any of this. So we'll get into the kind of the gear and how you use things and stuff like that here in a little bit. I kind of want to talk about your kind of like history. You were born in Nicaragua, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of want to deep dive you being based there originally and then coming here to Miami and kind of all the places that you're bopping around playing music.
Yeah. I mean, I moved to Miami from Nicaragua when I was 15. That was in 2009. I had already found a love for electronic music. When I moved here, it wasn't that popular. They had a lot of festivals going on, but with the young people at my age, they weren't very into it in the schools that I went to. So I was kind of like odd listening to electronic music. They were like, "Oh, why are you listening to club music? Like, that's weird." And then all of a sudden, like when we were old enough to go out, everybody started getting into it because it's a big part of the city. I had a love for electronic music going out also in Nicaragua at a young age. Thanks to my cousin Klaus in Nicaragua, he has set a real scene over there, and there's a lot of really good producers that are coming up and all over Central America as well. So I feel like my friends over there have been a really good influence on my style, and that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah. So when you were 15, the what everybody else was listening to at the time, what was that?
Like Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're more into producing. Do you feel like you enjoy producing music better than like just playing live, or do you have a preference?
It's hard to say because I need to produce as a way of therapy for myself. Like when I get into the rhythm of just making something once a night, it's like it helps me sleep better. It helps me not be thinking like, what am I not doing? What am I not doing? Like I'm always thinking in bed and I can't sleep because I want to further my career. And I'm thinking like, what do I need to do? But when I produce something and I know I tried and I worked hard on something, like it just gives me a sense of like, there's also my emotions and there's also my hard work. I already did it.
So you're producing something every night.
When
How long do you spend on each song? that
like
you're-
making them,
Yeah, like maybe like a start to finish process.
depends because I have two different ways of producing. I'm using synthesizers for my alias Gabo Rio, and then I started a new alias called Maniobras that is only on the computer. And then sometimes when I would produce like my original music on Gabo Rio, it would be a lot quicker because I would just record what I would be playing live. And then for Maniobras, I started doing that live on the computer, but I learned how to mix on it so that people can like either mix my songs professionally or remix my songs, having the stems and proper bouncing. So yeah,
So you started making music over there before you moved here at 15? Or like how long have you been doing it total?
I started making music in college, my second year with the machines. but I'd never made anything that I felt like was good enough to put a name to it. I didn't have my DJ name yet. I didn't have my artist name. I just kind of like made some music. I ended up losing it because it didn't fit the rules to the artist name that I created. As making music just with the machines for Gabo Rio. This music that I had made was just a combination of machine with computer, and I didn't feel like it was there yet.
Yeah. So you set different rules based on who you're. Well, I guess you're presenting as like multiple artists then.
Yes.
So you can be booked as Gabo.
No, actually, I'm not booked as Maniobras
Okay.
because it's just a producer alias.
Okay. Yeah, I have so little knowledge on all of everything that you're talking about, so it's cool. And you also said you just started a label. If you wanna...
Yeah, I started a new one. I started my first one in November of 2022, I think it was. Was it? But I'm really bad with dates. It's been a year and like 6 months since I started Impresión. And the reason I started that one was because I felt like I needed to create a platform for all the artists that I was meeting and connecting the worlds of the people that I meet in Miami and the people that see me on the internet from Europe and also my friends from Central America. So I was like, what do I do? I didn't know how to start a label. I didn't know what it needed to happen. I didn't know if I could. And one day, I asked one of my bosses that I was working for, kind of an internship for a record label. And I asked him, how did you start? Like, did you have a distribution deal already, or did you, like, had to put a bunch of money down? He's like, oh, I can't tell you exactly everything.
Gatekeeping.
Because a lot of it is like contracted information.
Oh, yeah.
But one day I just started and I didn't know anything about it, and I learned everything as I went. It's never the right time, it's never the wrong time to start it. So I just did. And I looked for distributions, I looked it up, and it was like difficult to find the right one. I got one called Pressology for Impresión, and they're good. I just feel like they haven't gotten me much listens from besides what the ones that I get already.
So the distributions that basically will send out to streaming platforms?
Yeah, they send it out to streaming platforms. And some distributions are better than others and can get you placement in playlists and charts. Because in electronic music, you want to get like sales in your songs, not streams. So
What is the difference between a sale and a song versus a stream?
well, a stream,
people who
a lot of the
are
time
like
is
me.
like 0.001 cent.
Yeah.
And a sale sometimes is like, depending on the platform, if you use Bandcamp,
And a sale is somebody buying that song?
somebody buying
Okay,
it to
okay.
play it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that had to do like internally.
It doesn't make that much money,
Yeah.
like in the streams and in the sales when you're collecting the royalties, but it's important for people to buy the songs so that they play them, and if the right person plays your song, then you might make a hit.
Right. So what does it look like as far as managing a label and managing, because that's essentially what you're doing, you're managing multiple people's work that comes into you, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so when I started it, I released first my own music so that I can do the work on myself and people can see what they're gonna get from like the promotion aspect and also the marketing. And sometimes like people have gotten gigs because of it, so that's like my favorite thing about it, because it doesn't really make money to release electronic music as an underground artist when you're starting off, unless you're getting like so many listens and so many sales.
It's like essentially to be viral.
Yeah, kind of like Pete Tong, Carl Cox, people that are really famous. They could be like in a commercial to make money too.
Right.
It's not just the streams. But I feel like the new distribution that I got for the new label that I just started is a little bit better. I haven't gotten to the point where the music is out yet, but I just signed with DBH Music by Robert Druick, Alex Bau, and George Hens, based in Germany. So it's a whole different game because my other distribution wasn't based in the same country, so I'm getting like different listeners. And this distribution actually sends your music to DJs that they have their contact of, and they send it with their logo, and just like receiving it from the distribution that they already have like worked with is like a big difference for them to like download the music and actually play it. And I just got a notification saying that Richie Hawtin downloaded one of our releases, and it's one of the biggest DJs in the world in history.
Wow, that's cool. So
yeah, and that was
can
a
they...
Disco Sexo release.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I saw her post that the other day, which is really super cool. So those DJs, the benefit of, I mean, obviously the benefit of them having it is because of their following and their name and everything. But is that something that people would like sample that kind of work from you, or is that a possibility, or I don't even know.
I mean, it's already licensed when it's distributed.
Yeah.
So if they do, it's gonna get picked up and like it's gonna get flagged as copyright unless it's like approved.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, like that process. Like if somebody big wanted to sample something from you,
But
what
I
would
mean,
that
like
look like?
if they were to sample something in a way that they wanted to make money off of it, they would have to sample a very short amount of the song and just make it into something new, which would be both for both parties.
Yeah.
No, it would be great for both parties, honestly. If anyone that's like more ahead in their career wants to remix something that we have, like reach out.
Yeah. I know you just recently were in El Salvador playing.
Yes.
I want to know, first of all, getting booked in other countries, like what is that like? And then I also want to know kind of your favorite place that you've played, and maybe a goal place that you would like to play. Hit you with all those thoughts.
Right. It's hard to pick the favorite place that I've played. I would say like my country is my favorite place to play. I've only played there once. But I have had also similar experience to that same amount of appreciation and love from El Salvador. And I just want to play in all the countries of Central America because we are one region, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like we can all grow together to a point to make Central America like one of the best scenes in the world.
I didn't even know that it was so influenced by electronic music there.
Oh yeah, it's very serious there. It's not like people just go out to socialize. Like they want to go see the DJ and to see the DJ that's the local that's opening for them. Like they respect the local DJs in the scene over there more so than people respect the local scene in the States.
Yeah. And as far as maybe like monetary wise, how do you feel like that is being paid over there versus being paid here?
Oh, that's a whole different story. It's a whole different story.
I am curious.
Yeah. Over there, it's kind of hard to get the same amount of pay for over here. So I guess like you have to choose your battles.
Yeah. Do you feel like here it is easier? I don't know, because I feel like people in entertainment talk about how hard it is to be respected and being paid properly here, from what I've understood. Do you feel like that is something that Miami is better with, or compared to, I know you've played in Europe and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, in Europe, we got paid very little too, but there was a gig that my partner got that was like very well paid. But that was like before we went, and she had it like very well planned.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like here, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the industry here respects like entertainment as much as they should, but that might be my personal opinion. But I guess we should think about other kinds
Yeah,
of
it's like difficult because when it comes to an artistic performance, where you want to perform the way you want to perform to actually be the performer you are, you know?
yeah.
It's hard to get paid well for those gigs.
Yeah, here I feel like it's very generic, like party club music.
They want to hear something that the whole crowd is going to enjoy, not feel as different than what they already used to.
Yeah,
And a lot of the time, the better paying gigs are for background music.
yeah. Like just playing.
Like at a hotel, at a wedding.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say usually weddings are curated by couples anyways. Like the couple tells the DJ what they want to play and then they
Yeah.
just go up and plug everything in and hit play on a playlist almost. So how do you don't do those kind of gigs?
No, but I keep thinking about it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like it's not a bad idea.
I mean, I know how to do it, so.
You've got to with wedding DJs, I feel like they're like the life of the party. Like they
That's the only problem. It's like socializing too much. Like
Yeah.
I already don't like socializing.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be super social, super loud, and it's like you kind of have control over everybody's mood and like what everybody's doing, and you're like the announcer of the evening and stuff. So
Yeah, I like announcing. I just don't like requests. And I know that they already have a list,
yeah,
and I don't mind. But like, if I already have a list, why do you need an extra request?
yeah, and they'll do that every 5 minutes at a
And that's
wedding.
still a request. Like I have to get the list and get the request. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how they do it, and it's a lot of people pleasing for the wedding. For
But
the
I've
wedding
seen
DJ.
in hotels. I've seen in hotels that there's a DJ just playing for like a pool area, and there's
Yeah.
no request because the DJ is like up in the balcony,
Right, he's not reachable.
not reachable. I'm like, that's the one I want. That I just
Yeah.
gotta wear a suit, play some like chill vibes.
Yeah, some like lo-fi chill music.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that would be like compromising? Like, would you be able to just play what you create?
I don't think they even have like flyers for those.
No.
So I don't think I would have to say my name or anything.
Yeah, you just show up and you play.
You just show up and play background music.
It's pretty nice. That'd be pretty chill.
That's one that I think I'd like to explore,
Yeah.
just to make some extra money.
Yeah, I know a couple people. Well, I know one person that did it for a while, and it was like he worked like a 9 to 5, but he was just a hotel DJ. So he was like, "This is like my day job." But it was kind of like a corporate setup. Like he was on a payroll and everything.
That's cool.
But I don't know how that would work as an art form, and I don't know what kind of music he was playing. But
Yeah, it would be hard to like really express myself like that. You
Yeah.
know? It would just be for the paycheck, like
and when you're playing sets, how long are you playing?
1 hour, 2 hours. It depends on the party. Like usually they just book me to play 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. But if it's like a party that we're throwing, we might end up like playing longer if we don't have like the funds to book another DJ.
And I know for a while you were throwing a lot of parties here. I know there was like a couple different collectives going on here. I don't know if you want to talk about that, or like your space and what you were doing there.
Right. We had like mainly some intimate parties where we were trying to record and stream the DJ sets of people who played vinyl in Miami, but it was hard because we live here and not all the time were we able to keep the silence,
Right.
especially because it's a party.
Yeah, yeah.
And also we got new neighbors, so now we can't really do it at all.
The social aspect. When you guys were recording, was that during like COVID? I kind of want to know about like the COVID
No,
impact
it was
on
before.
you as
It
an
was
artist.
before.
Yeah.
COVID really stopped it for us because we still didn't have new neighbors yet. We could have kept going, but COVID really was what made us stop the events here.
Did you use that time just to produce, or I mean, obviously you're not performing really.
Yeah, we produced. We did streams from home without any guests. And yeah. it was a very difficult time, like not being able to work, not being able to make music. I mean,
Yeah.
not being able to make music, but not be able to show it to people.
Right.
So
But you have
yeah.
a pretty good like reach with social media, like connecting to a lot of different.
Now I feel like I'm more comfortable like sharing my music online than I was at that point.
Yeah. Was that just kind of like a?
It's because of like how the things that I've learned with the label. Like I didn't have the labels back then.
And sharing your own music. I mean, I guess what's different about that versus sharing it through the label? Like, are you promoting yourself through the label or?
I promote myself and other people, but mostly like I get to learn different ways of promotion. And there's so many different ones. Like you can get really creative about it. Like I know a guy that is working on like a whole platform for his music. And it's like, wow, you can like code and stuff. Like that's cool. But I also like keeping it like old school and following the culture that's already there. Like not trying to reinvent the wheel so much because there is a big culture of music promotion going on in South America, North America, Central and Europe, Asia, all over the place. Like there's pages that promote music and you can just reach out to them, like get your music promoted. Some of them do it for free, some of them charge.
Yeah.
And it's a really good thing to like make new connections with new artists because a lot of the artists are the ones that are doing the promotion as well.
Right.
Like I learned a lot from this label that I was on called Nonstop Rhythm. I've learned how to run the label better because of being on that label. So just like connecting with other artists and like having other artists on your label helps them learn, helps you learn. Like everyone gets better and grows together.
I like that mentality versus the. I feel like the gatekeeping mentality is something that is so toxic, and it's my least favorite. Where it's like I don't know. To me, I see it a lot in the photography realm where people will be successful at something, and then somebody will be like, "Well, how did you do that?" Or "What camera are you shooting?" Or "What did you shoot that?" Like just asking logistics because in reality, you can use the same equipment but produce something completely different. At the end of the day, nobody's going to really produce the same exact thing as you all the time. So I think just giving that insight to each other and like a community aspect is super helpful and it just makes sense for everybody. But not everybody has that mentality of like wanting to build community. But I feel like it also is different maybe in each industry.
Yeah, I just feel really strong about it with my Central American family. Like, I don't know, the longer I'm away from Central America, the more I miss it, and just like, not that I want to live there anymore, because it would be really hard to make money for me, especially like trying to make money as an artist. But
Could you have a home base there and then like come here? Or?
I think the play is having a home base here and just visit.
Yeah.
Because I can promote the artist's music from over there, here from a really good standing point. Even if the gigs here are not as fun or as fulfilling, like they look good on videos sometimes, and they look good on flyers sometimes. And people from all over the world, they see things from Miami even if they don't want to.
Right. I feel like persona is really heavy in that world, like as far as music and DJs go and everything. I feel like it's the face of it that you see sometimes more, But as an outside perspective, that I don't really know too much about it, but it seems like the persona is super important. Kind of where you're playing and who you're with.
Oh. I mean, I don't know if people from outside really know that much about Miami. I think they just see like that you're doing something.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it there, it means that you're working hard because it's not easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we were kind of talking about that yesterday with like New York City and being a big fish in a small pond in Miami, and then say go to New York and then you're a tiny little fish in this huge pond. But I don't know. I guess do you feel like it's a really competitive market here, as far as comparable of what you're doing versus like the, background music in a club DJs?
There's definitely some outlets here for what I'm doing. It's just there's a lot of gatekeeping in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. But I think I'm gonna grow as a producer with my music and my labels, that one day they're not gonna have a choice but to book me.
Right. Right. Do you have like a sense of a plan, like a 5-year plan or anything like that?
It's hard because like I want to move, but I'm still not sure if it would be possible.
Move as in out of Miami?
Yeah, I would like to move to Europe.
Okay. And why?
Just to see if we can make it.
Yeah. Do you feel like they have like more of a, I don't want to say accepting, but I kind of want to say accepting, like more of an accepting community or industry in Europe versus Miami with the stuff that you're producing?
I think they like my stuff in Europe more than they like it here. But it might be just because I'm not from there.
Right. Everybody
Like
wants
they just
something
want
like
something from
different.
somewhere different.
Right.
But at the same time, like people move to Europe all the time, and I've seen people grow a lot over there.
Right. Where would you go?
I would like to go to Portugal
Yeah.
or London, but I don't know if London is doable because I don't know. I don't have all the connections I want to have there yet.
I'm kind of curious about kind of technology because it's something that I think about in my world a lot. Like, what is changing in technology? I know that you said before you were using a lot of vinyl when you were playing, and then now you said you kind of do both. Do you feel like the industry technology-wise is going to change a lot in the next, 5 years, or do you think it's something that's going to kind of remain?
Yeah. I think it's gonna change. I see a lot more live sets coming around because I think they've been making better synths that are more user-friendly. I think a lot of the time in the past, like, you had to have like 10 or 12 synths in your setup, but now they're making so many synths that all you need is one.
Yeah.
And there could be a lot of live sets in the lineup. And that would be like not even using like a DJ, not even being a DJ set. It would just be like a live performance.
Right.
So I see that like a lot in Europe, and I think it's gonna grow in the States. I see it growing in New York already. In the underground scene, not that it wasn't there in the like industrial scene, which has been there forever, but in the underground scene, it's coming back, I think.
Yeah. In the States, do you feel like there's a place that kind of excels in your industry?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Not at all. It's not comparable at all?
It's not comparable to Europe. Haven't heard of one U.S. vinyl distribution for record shops in the U.S. for underground vinyl. Like, I think all the vinyl distribution that is based in the U.S. for U.S. shops is for all music, not for just electronic. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not like centered on us.
Okay. So you don't feel like there's like really a hub?
There's not really a hub here.
Do you think that makes it difficult for what you're doing then? There not being kind of like a centralized...
Yeah, it's really difficult because if we want to buy records, we got to get them from Europe or buy them from a shop that got them from Europe.
To get them pressed is what you're talking about?
No, to buy them, to play them.
Oh, okay.
And also to get them pressed. Like, there's a lot of pressing plants here, but they don't have like distribution deals that
It's all like independent to the artist, right?
that can help you like at least pay for 30% of it or something, like,
Right.
or give you a deal to distribute the music once you press it. And there's a lot of worldwide websites that do that, but you still have to get everything shipped over here.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the artists about getting her music pressed, and it seems like everything was very independent. Like, it was up to her to pay for everything, like start to finish, up to her to make the sales, up to, it was like...
And what sucks about that is that you don't know how much the record shops take the record for until you press the record or you've dealt with a distribution company. Because the record shops take the record for like $7 to $10 the most.
Yeah.
And a record, if you press 100, it's not going to cost you that.
Right.
It's going to cost you like a 15 a record.
Yeah.
So you lose money if you give it to the record shops. Then you have to sell 100 records all by yourself.
Right.
And all these US pressing companies are saying like, oh, here's our deal, press 100. Here's your deal, press 100. But it's fucking up the artist because then you end up with a bunch of records that you couldn't sell because you're not going to be able to sell 100 records by yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you already have like your own distribution.
I was gonna say, or like a massive following, or something like that. Do you think so? You're not like pro doing anything independently, really?
I'm pro doing things independently, like doing record labels independently, and releasing independently. Like starting your own record label, starting your own distribution. Like I love that. I just think there needs to be a system for every part that is needed in the process.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Like if you don't have the proper marketing, if you don't have the proper distribution system, like you need to outsource that.
And then for marketing, you're really just relying on social media.
No, I pitch to a lot of different websites.
Okay.
That put the music on as premiere. So basically my promotion for Impresión and for the new label is kind of similar in the way that I release the music first on Instagram, then a page that I send it to will post it on SoundCloud as a premiere, which is before it's released. Then I put it on Bandcamp so that they can buy it when they hear it on that SoundCloud. And then it's released on all the platforms for everyone to hear at the end.
Like your Spotify, your Apple Music.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of centralized my sales on Bandcamp because there's not that many sales that come from the distributions to make enough money to pay the artist. So if I put it on Bandcamp and someone gets a tip for $30, I can send it to them.
Right.
If someone is not gonna send that tip on Beatport because it doesn't say, oh, your money reaches the artist. Like Bandcamp says that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big difference.
And I actually am not familiar with that platform at all. So do you feel like maybe that's just like more centralized around musicians using that platform, or because I don't know, I feel like I don't really know anybody that, not like, I don't know, in not an offensive way, but I don't know anybody that uses it unless
Bandcamp?
unless they're like a musician.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's just for music or if you could put like a podcast. I've seen people do performances on there and just like put $1 for support and listening
And it's a platform kind of like Spotify where you can just...
No, you can't listen to it many times until you pay for it.
Oh, okay.
So you can hear it twice and then if you want to hear it again and save it, you got to pay the artist what the artist decided is. Like you can put $0, $1,
Okay.
$2, $3, 30, whatever you need to do. But I have seen people put mixes there, like full 60-minute mixes and charge just to listen. But a lot of the time I think it's like original content instead of like playing records that are not yours.
Right.
Like they would playing like their own music for the most part or doing a live performance. So I'm sure if you do a podcast, you could put it on Bandcamp.
I was curious more of just like a user, like sitting down, I guess, on your phone or, you know, I guess on your computer or just anything at home. I didn't know if that's something that people are so commonly use, but...
It's mostly for buying music, like to download it.
Yeah, but that's good that that exists because I feel like I only hear horror stories from musicians like putting their music on Spotify and how they don't get like anything from it, and like
Spotify sucks.
Streaming platforms are like killing everybody right now.
Yeah, I don't like the streaming platforms. I only like if my mom wants to listen to it, like she can hear it.
Yeah, that's cute. How do your parents feel about everything that you're doing?
They're proud of me. They're proud of the music. Like my mom and my stepdad, they know that I'm really into it. My mom is really the most supportive person ever, and also my girlfriend is the most supportive person ever.
She's our cameraman right now. No, that's awesome though. So they were kind of supportive from the beginning. Are they creative people as well, like musicians or anything?
My mom wasn't supportive from the beginning. She obviously was worried that I would make the wrong choices when it was like a crucial decision to make on my career. Like when I was starting college, like I wanted to study music or study photography, but it was like really expensive, and then I would end up in a lot of debt and not being able to find a job that would pay for all that debt.
Yeah.
So I ended up studying liberal arts, and then I failed like half of my classes my first year. And then my second year, I switched colleges to a community college and took all music production classes for 2 years, trying to get a associate degree in music production that they had in my Miami Community College. But when it got to the 2 years, my advisor said that they had changed the curriculum and that the classes that I took didn't add up to my
Oh my God. Your degree?
my degree. So I went to another university for 6 months to finish my degree on a different study group.
Yeah.
I went to Tallahassee for 6 months and I finished it on communications for a AA.
Okay. And then back to Miami.
And then I came back to Miami.
That's good though. I feel like all of that is relevant. I know my college did the same thing. Right after I graduated, the year after I graduated, the college got absorbed by a major university, and then I was like, I don't know if anybody's degree actually exists, if it's like qualified.
Oh
Because
my.
now that college doesn't exist, like the degree that I have. So. And I know a lot of people that would go take classes elsewhere and then try to transfer the credits in, and then it wouldn't, and then you're just sitting there paying for all of those classes. But yeah, would you ever go back to school?
I think so, yeah. I'm only missing 2 classes to finish my bachelor's, so I think I'm gonna go back just because I'm missing just 2 classes,
Yeah, you
It's
should.
not that many.
You might as well have the paper.
Yeah, I
out
might
of
go
it.
back like this year,
Yeah.
just like 1 class
What
at
will
a
the
time.
degree be that you have?
Communications.
Oh, the bachelor's is in.
Bachelor's communication. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's super good. That's relevant for marketing and everything that you're pushing.
Yeah, I would like one day to write about electronic music on a worldwide level and people to really like value what I have to say, but I feel like I have to build on my
Kind of like a journalistic approach.
I feel like I have to build on my artist first.
Yeah. And what would
Just-
your goal would be kind of like to go to things and kind of report on them, or just
No,
sitting
just
down,
write
like-
about like the experiences I have in my career.
Oh, okay.
Like what they want to know behind the scenes
Yeah.
of what really happens in the labels when it's like bigger, or what happens in the gigs when they're bigger too.
Yeah. So right now you're kind of like a team of one with the label, or
Yeah.
how many hands are in the pot, or just you?
Just me.
Okay.
I share another label with Disco Saxo. That's a Mata y Mala. And then I have Impresión, and then I have Ácidos Amigos, which is the new one.
Yeah. And managing all 3 of them by yourself.
No, not all 3. The Mata y Mala, I manage it with Disco Saxo.
Okay. Damn. So how many hats are you wearing then? Like, what is your?
So I have a funny story for that because I just started a YouTube channel
Yeah.
to promote music like under a different name. It's called Window Shop Music.
Yeah.
I also started a collaborative platform on Instagram and SoundCloud for Miami artists only.
Okay.
And that one is a collaboration between me, the audio manipulator, and Grey Ghost, and Rami. So that one is called Substance 305.
Okay. I like how you have so many different little projects going on. Because I feel like a lot of people, they kind of just stick to like, okay, I'm going to put all my effort and energy into this one name and try to make this one happen. But you kind of are spreading out to other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to grow and also like get myself learning more and more and more as quickly as I can, so that I don't have to have a day job. So that I can just like be booked,
Yeah.
all the time.
Under all of these other.
Just because of all these other things,
Yeah.
like maybe one of the platforms gets a hit.
Right. Makes sense. Not putting all your eggs into one basket. I guess now I'm.
They're still on mine.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But under different names, I like it. Do you feel like that's a really big thing in even major, say like artists that are on the radio and stuff like that? Do you think that they're also doing that? Because I'm seeing like
I'm not
this.
sure, because I haven't really listened to the radio in Europe,
Yeah.
like the one that's in the car.
Yeah.
I always call it the car
Well,
radio.
you're like mainstream artists. Do you think that they're like low key doing that as well, or do you think that they're just?
No, I don't think so. I think they have 360 deals.
Yeah. What is that for me?
Like money up front, and they produce your music like professionally. Or you are already like someone that's rich with a studio, or someone that's rich with a studio that's like worldwide quality.
Is that going to be like kind of the next move for you? Is wanting to go into like owning a studio or anything like that? Is that
I
something
think that's
you'd
gonna
ever
take
do?
a while. It's gonna take a while because I want to move, and I don't
Yeah.
want to move my studio.
Right.
And yeah, I don't really need a studio right now. I feel like you can produce everything you need to without it. And if you get the right mixing and mastering, everything should be fine.
The equipment is important. And I guess the knowledge too.
Oh yeah, the knowledge is like not even like knowledge of like how to use the equipment, but the knowledge of what you want to do is so key, because like I have used the same different equipments many times before, like when I was producing when I was younger, and I wasn't able to get a song with them. But I knew how to use them like better than I used them, better than I know how to use them now, because I was studying them at that point.
Right.
But now I can pick up like a program that I've never used and make a song, even if I don't know how to use it.
Right.
And it's because I know what my song needs,
Yeah.
because I already have like my ideas, and I know like the names of the sounds that I'm looking for.
Right. That's kind of the same thing with cameras too. Like a lot of people will hand me their camera and be like, how do I work this, or how do I shoot this in the way that's gonna give me the best picture, And there's so many times where people will just like hand me a camera that I've never touched before in my life, and I'm like, okay, I've got it set up, as best as we can.
Yeah,
So.
and I surprised myself because there's this little machine called the Volca Sample, and it's a great machine, but it's very limited. It's the one I use right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I had it before and I couldn't make a song with it at all. I had to use like other stuff with it, and it still didn't sound good. But now, like, somehow I put my mind to it and was able to make a song just with the one. And I have like a whole 6-song EP coming out with it soon.
That's cool. That's kind of, I guess, more like analog photography. Like you get very limited options, but you can
Well, it's so hard. Like, you can't change the pitch of anything,
Right.
only with a knob. So it's not like you can play like a piano. You just
Yeah.
change the knob like da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then it records that.
Yeah, and I also so when you record music and you play it live, and obviously you're not just like hitting play on a track. To me, it's crazy that you can like remember everything that you need to do, like control wise.
Yeah. You can always write notes if you have too many synths.
Yeah.
Like, if I had like 3 synths, I would probably write notes.
Yeah, I have no comprehension of what it would take to translate a track into playing something live, like with all the controls, and like you're literally just, I have no mind over that.
It's cool. Like, if you can improvise, it's like funner in the moment, because you can read the crowd and just play something different. But if you don't know how to improvise and you know how to play your music live instead, the music that you already have like written,
Yeah.
it's also like really good, because then you'll have like a really good recording of it if you record it, or like you play your songs that people can look up and be like, oh, I heard this live, like that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
And-
it's like 2 different things that you can do. They're both great.
And when you're playing live, do you feel like you kind of adjust what you're playing in different locations?
Depends. If I'm improvising, I'm able to adjust.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm trying to play like the songs that I have already written.
Do you feel like you've like bombed before? What is that
Messed it up at all?
Messed
Like
it
messed it
up.
up the whole thing?
Messed it up, I guess, and then maybe like the crowd not being interested in it.
Like the whole set or like one transition or?
No, just in general. Like, say you like show up, you're playing an event or something, and people like aren't into the music. Like, have you had that, or
I feel like I have, but
or you're just like unfazed, unbothered, don't give a shit about it?
it just depends because I think I have like in the gigs that I have played as background music, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that counts because those gigs were really just meant for that.
Right. Like
There
they're
wasn't
not. It's not meant for them to
Like
be
I would
engaged
play in
with
this
you.
bar that didn't have a dance floor. They just had like tables for people to sit down.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they're not really listening.
Yeah,
They're
and the
just
goal
there.
for you is for people to be dancing.
Yeah, the goal for me is for people to be dancing. And that's when I can really see if I did good or not.
Yeah, and where do you think the most responsive is that you've played for you? Like people have been dancing.
In Miami, I feel like my best spot has been Kill Your Idol
Okay.
because even if some of the people that go there are from the street and it's free entry for
They
those
wandered
nights.
in.
Free entry for those nights, so you don't always get the most friendly people or the most like open crowd. But I feel like it's really good practice to have that because they do get a crowd, and if you're able to make them dance with your music, like it's really like rewarding. Because it's kind of hard to get those gigs in Miami. You have to be really well promoted and you have to be really well connected to get the gigs in a bigger club like the Trip or Treehouse with Unmute. So yeah, like those gigs, like they would be funner obviously, but I haven't gotten them.
Yeah. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Do you have like a goal for this year? Like what's like one thing in your mind that you're like, this is what I have to do this year, or what I want to do, if you have one?
Save up and get to Europe.
Yeah, to play there?
For 2 weeks or something with my girlfriend.
Just to go.
Just to go and play there, yeah.
Okay.
As soon as we have enough money, we'll go.
So when you go to Europe, how does that work? Like you just show up to clubs and you show your stuff and then...
No, you have to like talk to them before.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I have no idea if it's like kind of like a little baby audition or something like that.
I
Like,
wish there was auditions. I would show them.
Yeah. I feel like why isn't there?
Because it takes an hour for a mix.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
Who wants
I
to
don't know.
sit there
You
an
just,
hour
like,
and then you got the next DJ and oh, we'll just
you
sit
know,
there for
well,
another
no,
hour.
like you you just like you send it to them and you bother them. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can send it to them always.
They just won't listen.
they just listen to the first 2 songs and they're like, "What is this?
Yeah,
This is not minimal enough."
that's weird. So your process basically is to contact a bunch of places and
Well,
see if they'll book you, and then you just hop over there and you play for a couple weeks.
well, yeah, because I'm a new artist, so like I just have to either let know some friends that live there that I'm going or hit up the club myself or the collectives that I like just hit them up, let them know I'm going, like show them my stuff. Some of them already know my stuff, so like you can only hope for the best.
Yeah, on those, is that an expectation just to hope to play there, or are you like expectation is to get paid?
It's
Is it-
hard to say because honestly, like it's really good exposure to play over there, but it sucks to not get paid.
Yeah.
It's really, I don't know. It's like you would have to like get the offer and think about it first, like not just jump into it.
Are you like pro exposure when it comes to gigs, or?
Depends.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah. If the party is like a trial at the bar's not paying anyone. It's my friend throwing the party. He wants to grow his collective. I don't mind playing for free. If it's a benefit party, I don't mind playing for free.
Right.
Like, if it's opening for someone that's gonna make my career better, like, and I'm treated well, I don't mind playing for free.
Right.
But it's not ideal.
Yeah, that's not sustainable. We have bills to pay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel pretty good about our conversation. I feel like I learned a lot. I don't know like anything in this realm at all. So I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me and giving me a little bit of insight into this little universe.
For sure. Yeah.
I think we're going to attach a song of yours.
Yes, I'm gonna.
You can have like a little mini set. I think we'll just like put it at the end of the video and the audio. I think it should be pretty easy to pop that in there.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be the song called "Speed of Sound" by Maniobras, coming out May 19 with DBH Distribution, the first release.
Cool. It'll be out by the time this video's out, so it'll be perfect. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in to the Little Art Studio podcast. Once again, this is my guest, Gabo Rio. My name is Ashlyn McKibben, and I'll be sure to link everything that we talked about in your episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, thank you.
Bye.